But among other travesties, Biden's horrendous border plan would have allowed millions and millions. This is the worst border plan I've ever seen. You know, you don't need a bill or a plan. All you have to do as president is say, shut the border, like I did. I said, shut the border. You don't need bills and plans. Would have allowed millions of illegal aliens a year flooding unchecked across our borders. Virtually unlimited number of illegals from countries such as Somalia, the Congo, Libya, Yemen, and Iran. A lot of people coming in from Iran, a lot of people coming from China, a lot of people coming from Russia. You know, it's interesting. They're coming from these places. Sadly, I don't want to say this to the women. I don't want to insult the women, but there are very few women coming in. They're almost all men, 18 to 25. That means fighting age. That's fighting age. So they have something planned, and we're not going to stand for it. They are destroying our country. This group of fascists, they're destroying our country. They talk about democracy. Biden is bad for democracy because he's grossly incompetent. That's why he's bad for democracy. He is bad for democracy. Plus, he uses DOJ and FBI and everything he can to go after an opponent. And nothing has ever happened like that in this country. Now, it does happen in third world countries and banana republics, but so far it hasn't. But it's happened here. And I think it's reverberating against him. I looked at the polls. I think it's actually been very. It's hard to say it's good to be indicted, but it sure as hell has helped the polls, hasn't it? Because I've never had polls like that. No, he's bad for democracy, and it would have given him new authority. The bill would have given him new authority to grant mass asylum, which, by the way, Bird Brain loves mass asylum. There's nothing nice about her. I will never run against President Trump. He is a great president, the greatest president in my lifetime, which is actually quite a bit now. The greatest president in my lifetime, she said. I will never run against him. Then she comes over to see me at Mar-a-Lago. Sir, I will never run against you. She brought her husband. Where's her husband? Oh, he's away. He's away. What happened to her husband? What happened to her husband? Where is he? He's gone. He knew. He knew. But no, think of this. Think of this. I will never run against you, sir, but it's all over tape. We've got like 19 versions. The great Dan Scavino, he made 19 versions of it. I will never run against him. Will you run against him? I will never. A little while later, I'd like to announce my candidacy. We don't need people like this. And I'll tell you what. She did a job. She was fine. She was okay. But I didn't put her there because I wanted her there at the United Nations. That was up to me. I wanted to take your lieutenant governor, who's right here, and make him governor. That's what I wanted. And I wanted you to have Peggy as a first lady. Get the best first lady. So that's I'm interested in that, too. Because this man, when I was campaigning, for a long time, I got along with her, made contributions to the governor. She'd always called contributions for years. And then I decided to run, and I said, one person I know I have is Nikki. I have Nikki Haley. Tricky Nikki. I have Haley. And so now I announce, and I call various people for endorsements. I don't think they mean much unless it's my endorsement, right, Henry? It doesn't mean much. And she didn't return my call. This years ago. Then I called her again. Finally, she returns. No, I'm sorry. I'm with somebody else. I won't tell you who because it happens to be now a friend of mine. We've all unified and friends. But you know what? It's not China. No, it's not China. But I had a man who, at the time, I didn't know, the lieutenant governor believed in Donald Trump. He believed in me. And I had the lieutenant governor, and the governor had some other candidate. And Henry, we blew that field away like nothing, right? And he and Peggy, at 6 in the morning, I said, who the hell is the guy? I said, that guy is campaigning like hell, your lieutenant governor. And I wanted him because I felt he deserved it. We won. And I'll never forget my speech. I said, I would much rather have the lieutenant governor than the governor. This is after we won. And everyone understood exactly what I meant. But he became the governor, and you're one of the most popular governors and maybe the best governor in the whole country. he didn't expect a build-up like that. He didn't think, he doesn't even care. He just wants to do his job. He's a great gentleman. That's a great couple. Thank you very much. And Peggy, thank you very much. Appreciate it. What Crooked Joe is doing to our border is a crime against this nation, but he will not get away with it. We're not going to allow these horrible offenses to take place. He'll be tried by the ballot box. You know that? He's going to be tried in, by, and for the ballot box in November. I have to say that, otherwise the fake news would say, oh, he was very threatening. Remember when Biden used to say, well, I'd like to take him behind the barn and punch him. If he ever punched me, it wouldn't last long. That's one wouldn't last. No, it's good. It wouldn't last long. 1, 2, 3 seconds. I'd go like this. That would be the end. That would be the end. I wouldn't have to be violent. No, but when he said it, the fake news said, oh, that's so cute, that's so nice. He's threatening to hit the hell out of me, and they thought it was nice. Now, if I said I'd punch him in the face, he'd go down like a ton of lard. Remember that expression? Ton of lard. They'd say, he's a fascist. It's terrible what he said. You know, by the way, we have a group of a lot of women. You love North Carolina, right? Okay. We have a lot of, they followed me now. This is the 129th rally that they've attended. Could I ask them, even though it's North Carolina, it's close enough, right? We love North Carolina. Would you stand up, please? Look at these people. Look at these people. Beautiful women. You're not allowed to say that anymore, but I'll say it. You are not allowed to say beautiful women. That usually is the end of a career, but I'll say it. They're beautiful women. They're incredible women. They're smart. The only thing I don't understand, I see one husband. They're good. Their husbands are home 129 times. What the hell are they doing? What did they say? No, they're great people. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. That's support. And we were treated very well, as you know. You know Laura, she lives in North Carolina, and she named the baby with Eric, named the baby Carolina. No discrimination. I said, is that north or the south? They said, it's both. It's both. So she's great. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. As you probably know, 2 days ago, the Biden Department of Injustice let Crooked Joe off the hook for some of his very egregious crimes, including his brazen theft of classified documents long before he was ever president. He's been doing this for 50 years. I couldn't believe it. I remember a certain senator got up and said, no way he did that, no way. But he did it. He took them when he was a senator. You can't do it. Now, in my case, I'm covered by the Presidential Records Act. I'm allowed to do what I do. But he wasn't covered. He was a vice president, not covered, and he was a senator. But this is yet more proof that we have a weaponized two-tier system of justice in this country. Crooked Joe got off scot-free. Now, I don't know if you call it scot-free. They said he was a mental basket case. Okay, so I wouldn't say it's totally scot-free. In fact, I think maybe if I had my choice, I'd take the other. I'd go through a little process, but that's better than what happened. But they said he was a disaster mentally, and he willfully stole gigantic numbers of classified documents, willful. But because of his condition mentally, is this guy going to make it to the starting gate, seriously? Well, it shows you the power of incumbency, doesn't it? If that happens, it's a sort of an incredible thing. But I've been saying no, but you never know. Be the first time I've been wrong in a long time, right? Trump was right about everything. We called every war. We called every single problem. And we would have never had any of those problems. We wouldn't have had Israel attack. We wouldn't have had Ukraine and Russia fighting and killing everybody and blowing up their cities. And we wouldn't have had inflation because it was started by energy. It was started by oil, gasoline, which doubled, more than doubled. But these documents, stuffing them in his drawers, stashing them in crumpled boxes, and those boxes were heavily used. You know, when you look at those boxes, Those suckers were in and out. A lot of people saw those documents. They didn't see the ones we had. We had them locked up, and we had Secret Service all the time because I was president all the time. And leaving them strewn all over the garage for his precious Corvette. You ever hear him talk about the Corvette? It's my Corvette. You can cut that garage door with the scissors. You know, flimsy is the word. You can take up scissors and just go like this. Those are the ones you buy for $139, right? The whole door. Not including the motor. On top of it all, Biden aides deleted incriminating evidence after the appointment of the special counsel. So I did behave with the special. I was very nice. I knew exactly what they were doing. It was election interference. I knew it exactly. As soon as I got even a call, this was election interference. I knew that. But we worked with them. We were going to give them whatever they needed. They came over to Mar-a-Lago. It was all very nice. In fact, I even treated them to lunch. I wasn't there, but I treated them to lunch. Obviously, I should have treated them to dinner. The lunch wasn't good enough, right? But I understood. But despite all of the facts, I was actually president, and the president has tremendous powers of declassification authority, etc. We did everything right. Biden's thugs are still trying to put me in jail on fake charges for crimes that they openly admit that Crooked Joe did. He actually did these crimes. Now, I'm not looking for anything to happen to this guy. He wouldn't know the difference. I mean, I don't think he even knows the difference. She goes, we are. That's like, there'll be no revenge. No revenge. Does everybody agree? No revenge. No revenge. But this is selective political persecution, not prosecution, persecution. If there was one shred of honesty or decency left in the radical left Democrat Party, and there's not, but it's a radical left. They've gone so far off. Open borders, high interest rates, horrible what they're teaching your children in school. A woke military. We have a great military, but it's headed by woke people at the top. They're trying to change it. Not going to happen. We defeated ISIS in 4 weeks. Everyone said it would take 4 years. We did it in 4 weeks. We have a great military. But the Biden DOJ, the entire phony boxes hoax against your favorite president and me would be immediately dropped. Everybody says it. We had 3 or 4 legal scholars today say, well, that's the end of that case against Trump, because you can't have one guy get out and then another guy who did nothing wrong, nothing wrong. He did tremendous wrong, and I'm not even asking, because if you look back, all presidents have taken a lot of stuff. I mean, that would mean every president, including Obama, Clinton, Bush, every one of them would right now be in the who's gal. That wouldn't look too good in history, would it? But we did everything right. He did everything wrong. And what they should do is that case should be dropped immediately by deranged Jack Smith. Did you ever hear of deranged Jack Smith? He's a prosecutor.